Right. So back to the topic about your background experiences in Japan. So when you started live here, and what is like the most biggest like culture shocks or something like in the culture differences, like after you started live here and before you started live here? So what kind of things that you just is it good things, the bad things, anything?
No, like for me, it's also been like quite some time ago. So like I feel like these days it's so much easier for for tourists or look for any foreigners to like even just be in Japan. Like when I first moved here, there were not that many things that were in English. Even like convenience stores or like labels and things, like even like some street signs.
Everything's Japanese.
Yeah, it was. For me, that was the biggest culture. Even like the suica machine, it was not in English. It was all in Japanese. I was literally guessing what I was pressing on there, And for me, I guess that was the biggest shock because I traveled before, but I have not like lived. So in Japan specifically, so I didn't realize that this was like, oh, okay, so English is not gonna work, or the whole cash system. Right now, it's like credit cards and everything is kind of like
a little better.
It works. Yeah, back in the day, you're like, oh, sorry, we don't accept credit cards, so you always had to carry cash on you. Back when I first moved to Japan, so I guess that was like the biggest thing, and then the shoe thing, but that's a different story. Yeah, I guess that was that's just communication in general. I mean, like not speaking on the trains, or like it's. I mean, it's still the same now.
It's the same there,
but yeah, it's like your voice is too loud, or things like that. Yeah, so I guess that.
And if you get a call like coming from somewhere in the train, like people just watching you, like not say anything, but like kind of the eyes and grabbing you. So situations.
Right, like even like listening to music, like if you're not like careful about your volume, like your headphones, still happening.
Yeah,
so I guess those were like, I mean, they're small things, but they were like big things to me at that time. So, yeah.
So before you came to Japan, it's like, and how you imagine about like people and the other things like the culture and the like routines, lives here. So what kind of like can you imagine you have before you came here?
It also is like going back to of course the whole era, time period. We didn't have that much. Like there was internet, but it wasn't like as much as like it was. I mean, YouTube barely came out back then, I think. So we didn't have the access the way that people have right now.
We had still like this kind of phone. I was named here. So.
Yeah, so my image of Japan was very like magical. Like there were no like like Travel Channel was like the only thing that I could actually like see how life is. So,
clearly still.
So for me it was like anime. I thought that was like anime is gonna be everywhere. There's like school uniforms, which we don't have in the States. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be like that. The food, but in my head it was kind of like not really registering like a real world. It was more like, oh, I'm going to visit this fairy tale. I don't know if it's different these days with people, because there's like reels and like YouTube
it's different now,
and stuff like like introducing Japan and things. But yeah, for me it was like first time I was coming, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to this magical world, magical place, where I've seen it in like Travel Channel or like anime places. Oh, the shrines, the temples, like the ravens or crows or whatever, karasu. Like, wow, I'm gonna see those karasu that I saw in the Yasha. Oh my god, and they're gonna like fly around. This 17-year-old is excited.
Imagine that. And what do you think like in there? If you say like the most like greatest part of Japan for you, and what is your favorite part of Japan you stay longer in here?
Why I stayed?
Yeah, more like and you stay outside of Japan.
I mean, there's so many things. So for me, like for the first time, like I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay because I was the language barrier. For me, it was scary. So I even told like my job, I told them, I was like, I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay, if I'm going to get like, you know, homesick or maybe like depressed, you know, from not being able to communicate, you know. And back then it was hard to find like foreigner communities in Japan, so I didn't have any foreign friends for maybe like a year or so.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Dude, like, you know,
can imagine,
when you first start, like many people go to like school, and like if you're going to like Japanese school, of course you meet other people. But when you work just for a Japanese company and you're constantly surrounded by Japanese people, you don't really see any other people. It's kind of hard to, you know, make friends or meet people in general. So,
now it changed a lot.
Oh yeah,
every
now
year,
it's so much easier.
More and more.
Yeah. So for me, like I adapted. I thought, wow, Japanese people are so nice. Everybody's trying to help me. People I don't know, you know, and like my coworkers would like introduce me to their friends. So for me, like I thought, wow, people are very kind and I feel safe. Of course, you know, it depends on the country, but living in the States, I felt like scared to like go out at night or something like that, you know. But in Japan, I felt like safe. I felt people were friendly. Like they would even like stop me if I was, you know, having a beer or something and drinking too much. It was like, yeah, you know, maybe you should not. But like I felt good. I felt comfortable. I felt like, you know, and slowly the language came too, and I was like, okay, I'm starting to understand what I'm hearing. It was hard to speak first, but it was easier to understand, so I tried. So, the more I did, the more I liked the communication. I liked, of course, the food is, everybody says that, the food. But yeah, I felt like, oh, okay, this is quite good. I feel it feels nice. Like I feel like I can maybe stay longer. So about after 6 months, back then, like office work required you to take N2.
Okay.
And for me, who did not study language, it was kind of hard. But I focused on just taking the test.
Okay.
And I'm good at taking tests, so I just focused on that, and I passed it. It took me two times to do it, but I passed it in 6 months. I passed N2 with no prior anything. So I think after that I was like, okay, safe. N1, no, thank you. Never again. I'm not taking no more.
No more.
No,
you got
I'm
enough.
good. Yeah, I'm good. If I feel comfortable, if I can live like this, I'm good.
Yeah, I stopped it.
Yeah, but I felt like it was much simpler and much easier. Even like after the language came, like I felt like, oh, it's much easier than it is in the States. You know, like even when you like need help or you like call on the phone, like everybody's trying to help you.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, you know, healthcare system.
Yeah.
That was very nice too. It's like, oh, so I can go to a clinic when I have cold.
Yourself. It's big change, of course. It's more safer. So.
Yeah, and back in the States, if you catch cold, you can't really, you know, pay like arm and leg. Yeah. For just, you know.
Yeah, I know that.
But so I guess that was like one of the biggest points for me in the adult life. Of course, I guess. So those were like my favorite things, I guess, aside from the food.
Okay.
That's what everybody says. Everybody always says is food, which I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind. But yeah, I guess I felt safer. I felt more comfortable. I felt like it was easier to live here as an adult, like safer. Yeah. That's how I thought.
Okay. So, what are the things like you felt more bad experiences or like something bad impression after you started here in Japan? Like if you don't have anything, fine. But
it's not that it's bad. It's just you know, it's like I mentioned before. It's like, you know, like you're a foreigner. No matter how many years you live here, you can't really completely fully integrate yourself into the society. You know, I didn't go to school here. I don't have the same background as everybody else. Even if I have friends and I get along with people and everything, it's still, when it comes to something more serious, like let's say dating,
wow.
Let's segue in there. For me, it was the hardest part of being in Japan, especially, you know, in my 20s, is dating. Yeah. It was non-existent most of the time, or bad experiences. Yeah. So I think for me, like aside like it's not that it's bad, it's just it's different. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm never gonna be completely fully integrated in society the way somebody who was born here is. You know, not just because of how I look, just, culturally.
Yeah.
Culturally.
Okay,
you know?
so it's good time to move to the next topic.